This is the day of thanksgiving. This is the day of giving great glory and praise to God, where we thank Him for all the many blessings He has bestowed upon us in our lives. And when we look out over the course of our lives, we can see how Jesus has moved. We can see His love moving in our lives, touching us. As we heard in the second reading today, God is faithful. God is faithful. Why do we so often forget that, though? Why do we forget that when we're in a struggle in our lives and it says, well, I'm not sure if I can get through this. I'm not sure how I'm going to get through this. It's too much with this crisis or this problem. Don't we know that God is here with us? Don't we know that He's going to take care of us? Don't we know that He's never abandoned us before and He's not going to start now? God is faithful. About a year ago, some of my parishioners here went out to Michigan and they picked up, at that time it was the beatification of Solanus Casey. Now, blessed Solanus Casey. And they picked up a rosary for me, which I've been using. And I love this rosary because on the Our Father beads, it says one of the sayings of blessed Solanus Casey, thank God ahead of time. Thank God ahead of time. And I every time I pray this, and very often when I'm not praying the rosary, those go through my mind, those words. Thank God ahead of time. What does this mean? Okay, we're not sure what's going to be happening, but we're asking God, take care of us. Thank you, because I know you're going to take care of me. I know you're going to take care of me. St. Teresa of Calcutta, she knew this as well. I think we've shared before the quick novena that she used to do whenever there was some sort of crisis or something where she needed quick prayers. She would do the Memorare. And the novena of the Memorare is praying the Memorare. Remember, almost... Good morning, voice. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to your protection, implored your help, or sought your intercession was left unaided. And it goes on. But remembering that when we go to Mary, she takes care of us. And she would pray 9 of those. And then she'd pray this 10th one. And the 10th one was an immediate thanks to her that she was answering the prayer. That trust and thankfulness. God is moving so much in our lives. And as I look back on my life, I can see so many times when I know there were struggles. And I look to God, and I might not have seen how He was fixing it in that moment. But as I look back, I say, oh yeah, God was there. God took care of me. One of the most clear times of this was when I was fairly newly ordained. I'd been in my first parish for 4 years, and I think I've shared this with you before. But I'd been there for 4 years, and then I was out at a retreat, and Bishop McCormick called me, and I kind of knew he was going to tell me to move, which I didn't really want to hear. But I couldn't avoid his phone call. He's the bishop, after all. And so he calls me and says, Vaughn, how are you? I says, I'm well, Bishop. I'm saying, what do you want, Bishop? He says, we've decided that we're going to move you. Okay. He says, but we don't know exactly where we're going to put you. Okay. And we don't know when you're going to be moving. Okay. But you're still going to be an associate someplace. All right. And in my mind I'm saying, and you're telling me this, why? But then a couple weeks later he told me I was going to be going out to Keene. Now I had been in Keene as a deacon. I didn't particularly care for it. I didn't really want to go back to Keene. And I got to Keene, and I just remember saying, oh, I'm here. I left a parish I loved, and here, oh, now I have to be here. But the Lord said, put your roots down. And I was only there 14 months, which is a very short time to be in a place. And I cried when I left Keene. Because I had come to love the people of Keene and the surrounding area so much. I had to learn to thank. And when I was moving there, God said to me in my heart, He said, "You know how much you didn't want to come here, but how much you've loved the people here and loved your experience? Thank me now that you're moving, even though you don't want to leave. Thank me now. Enter into this now that I'm going to do good things." When there are changes in our lives, when there are crises in our lives, when we don't see how God is moving in our lives, can we still thank Him? Thanking Him ahead of time, knowing that He is moving, that He is faithful, that He never will abandon us, because we're His children. You're His daughter, His son. We're precious to Him. On this day of great thanksgiving, let us turn to God with all gratefulness in our hearts for all the gifts He has given to us, the gifts He continues to give us, and with great trust, thanking Him ahead of time for the gifts He will give us.